Here is a boo-boo that happened 2-3 years ago. I was cleaning a barn out. I must have had the lift too high. I did have lift too high. Actually, it hit a bump, I think it on this part right here, and on that part down there. But anyways, it hit right underneath here, somewhere on the board. You can see it probably hit right there where you can see the board, and it pulled it. This is the track for the barn door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece off. There's 2 tracks here, 10 feet. Get this piece out and get to the board, and let you guys see some of this being pulled out, and try to make some new pieces for it and get it put back in. I've taken some of the screws out that hold it to the hold the track onto the board. All I want to do is, if I can, loosen the sheet metal on the outside. Yeah. That's out now. This piece here, oh boy. I want to replace this 2x4. I'm going to have to take the other track off also to get to that 2x4, and it's bolted on there. So I'll get to that next, get this stuff out of the way, and get set up to take that track off. It's a big boo-boo, that's for sure. A lot of unnecessary work that I don't want to do, but I want to get it closed up before it starts snowing and the weather gets really bad. What I'm going to have to do is take this entire door track off where it's been bent. So the deal is all these screws that are in the lower part of the siding need to come off, and then I can get to that track. And then when the track's off, then I want to replace those 2x4s, and you'll see more of it here coming up. I'll definitely let you see me install it. But first I gotta get this track off and all these screws out. Even these screws right here, they got to come off. That's what's sitting on top of the 2x4. The 2x4 is bolted to a 2x6, and all that's going to come out behind. You know, the 2x4 comes out, and the 2x6 comes out behind it. That's bolted to all together to hold it in place. After loosening all those screws and getting the siding so that it pulled away, I got the track off. This is the chainsaw that I used to cut the board on the inside. I did not want to hit the upper 2x6 or the rafters. It was really easy. When I finished cutting, this is what the view looked like. Oh, you're not supposed to stand in a bucket. This is not OSHA approved. I'm on my personal farm. So, if anything in the comments are said, it would be nice if I had a harness on or a belt. I do admit, but I'm being very careful and slow. It's on the trim. There's nails in it. Yeah, I had put nails in it. So must have nailed it up before I drilled holes and bolted it in. Got to tearing this apart. It looks like ants or bees or something is trying to grow in there. And it's going to get replaced, this back panel right here, all the way over to where I made that saw cut right there. So that's all going to get replaced. Thank goodness I am replacing this. Then I think I'm going to put some kind of linseed oil or something on it on the inside to preserve it some from moisture and water. But I got to finish pulling this out, and then I'll pull that out last. It might come out with it. I doubt it. It's probably got nails in it somewhere here up against the post. But there's one right there. There's a nail. Before I pulled that track away from the siding, I had to take the screws out of the siding to loosen it up in order to pull the lip that goes up underneath. There it goes. The bottom of the siding. All right, it's down. It's in one piece. But check this out. It rotted pretty good. See where it's all rotted there. So all this is going. I gotta get this from right here. It's gonna get. This is gonna come out. There's some nails in it. Right there's a nail. I'll get my hammer out and pull that out. The 2-6 on the very bottom there. The header board. I don't know. I might replace it too. Well, that thing's in bad shape. The problem with that nail is it's a ring shank nail. They're them little beetles. That's what's in there. They got in there. Just hammer them in. It's a ring shank nail, pole barn nail, whatever you want to call it. And either cut them off or nail them all the way in. Pretty bad. Getting ready to take the screws out of the sheet metal on the bottom corner where the 2-6 I'm trying to install needs to go. I need to loosen up that sheet metal on bottom, that way it'll slide in place. Okay. Finish cleaning this up, getting these old nails that were on this post out of the way. Like I said, the top of the door jamb, the header piece on top, it's going to get replaced also. I'll get it out of the way and get everything cleaned up, ready to start installing things. And we'll start getting the door jamb and the track back in place. This is the header board, or the top of the door jamb. Got some more linseed oil, added again, but I want to coat this with linseed oil, save my paint for metal. I got some metal track that could use it. She's back. So anyways, keep coating this up real good. And give it another coat probably tomorrow. I'll set it inside the barn so the frost don't get to it. It was frosty this morning. We coat this up real good. Then I'll get some holes drilled in it and get it mounted. Like I said, it's the overhead piece of the door jamb. Second day working on this sliding door and the frame brackets. The drizzly rain today. Today is December 28th, and there's a chance of it getting colder and snowing, but I'm trying to get as much of this done as I can. So what I'm involved in with right now is that's the board that had the linseed on it. That's the top of the door jamb frame. And what I'm going to do is drill some holes in it for screws. Boy, I don't know if I think I can get in here. There we go. Right here like this. Get the direction going right on the drill. There we go. So drill some holes in it like that. Get it started. Because I got some really long screws, decking screws. I can't get a hammer in here real good, so I'm hoping this works good. Anyways, I got some more here to do. I got pieces here I can do. So I get all these done. And then we'll start working on, there's a piece that it goes up against this and it'll stand up, a 2x6. It just goes underneath this too. I need to straighten this out before I put it in, and it'll tie into that piece down there. It's been cut out. And then on the back side, inside the building, I'll splice it and bolt it together so that it's got something to hold on to. Besides the post, it'll be in the middle. It was rotted. Half of it was rotted. And then I got to take a sawzall, cut these old bolts out, and so I can get the new bolts and screws, whatever I choose to put in here. And the 2x6 will go here all the way down to there. After 40 years of working in the pipe distribution, gas distribution trade, and working in power plants and things like that, I've decided to retire and concentrate more on the farming, just because my great-grandfather's family sold the farm doesn't mean the rest of the family beyond that, on my mother's side and on my great-great-grandfather's side. I got cousins. The family moved to Indiana in 1840, and there's been some farms here that the family, other families have bought, and I'm always helping someone, and I want to spend more time doing that and still do the welding. And there's some other things that I started about 12-15 years ago, involved in two-wheel drive truck pulling, and I would like to get back to doing that. I enjoyed it. So punching all these holes out where the bolts were that were holding the track, and get the rest of these knocked out, and then I'm going to set this down on there, on this one, trace it with a pencil where it was at, because I got some of the old 2x6 that's still up there, and I want to catch about 6 of those bolts. And after that, I'm still going to follow this pattern, but I'll re-drill into the new piece that's going to get added in. So I'm just tapping these out. They're not carriage bolts, they're just bolts, and they're reusable. No sense of buying new hardware when it's still good. And I think I got all the washers and the nuts put into a can. I got a 20-foot piece of 2x4 by 20 feet long. There's 2 tracks that are 10 feet, and it's treated, pressure treated wood. I'm still going to put linseed oil on it, but I got the treated because it is exposed to the outside of the barn. So I could, no, that punch won't fit. Yeah, it will. I might just use this punch. That's centered up right real good, and I'll know where to drill holes at. Check my ends. I probably, when I drill this first hole, I probably should drill the back hole first. And I'll drop a bolt down in it. That way I don't lose it. It's got a bow in it right here in the middle. I'm gonna have to scoot it this way and that way to get the bottom to line up. I've drilled a hole in that one. I'm gonna use it as a pivot. It's lining up on both edges, even all the way around. But for some reason in the board, the old board, there's a bow in it. You see right here, it don't match, it overlaps. So what I'm gonna do is use that as a pivot. I'll pull that over, line it up so top and bottom of that 2x4 as close as I can get. Now I want to drill some holes in it. Follow that.